AlienJake gets Bach and elects him. Interesting. So he doesn't wait for Shakespeare, and then researches drama, builds a drama, and gets revolutionary idea. Got it. So this Bach is probably going to be worth 2 science and somewhere between 3 and 6 points, I guess, depending on when the next age 3 liter comes up. He could get another drama, although he could really use to work on some infrastructure beforehand, I think. I think it's too late for a point boost at this stage of the age. Claudius sees an event, and a foray comes up. So he's taking the food, and he's using it for cavalry and classic army. So he's at 16 military. Doesn't need Han anymore, switching to Robespierre. And he researches journalism and cannons and getting engineer and genius. I wonder why he hurried to research these two. Maybe he's afraid of a spy. Maybe he's afraid of follow up the war with a spy. Because he's getting science from me to steal now anyway. So I am 5 ahead, which means that the war is going to end with me stealing 5 science. And that's fantastic for several reasons. One, science is good, and I just got a whole turn of science from this war while Claudius lost one. It slowed down his Eiffel Tower, I think. He won't be able to finish it next turn unless economic progress shows up. And it made his foray become. Actually, he could have finished it with foray, so it caused him to get food from the foray instead of stones. And he's out of Han, so he's down to getting 2 points a turn, at least until the Eiffel Tower is done. So I'm pretty glad that I slowed him down. And the question is, what's next? I'm pretty sure I want to seed an event here. The only really bad outcome is rebellion. I think that anything else I'm pretty well equipped to deal with, and since the infrastructure of the other two players I think is a bit weaker, if anything bad happens, they're probably going to suffer more. So as long as it's not rebellion, I think I'm fine. Okay, strategic territory. So this will give me 3 H2 cards, which is pretty fantastic, given that I had to skip card draw last turn in order to build up my army and declare a war. So I think I should bid for this, and the question is how much. My tactic is just these 2 units, while both AlienJake and Claudius depend quite heavily on their tactics right now, so they can't sacrifice as much. So I don't think that Claudius is going to sacrifice anything. He doesn't have the food, and I think he needs his ore for the Eiffel Tower and maybe journalism. So, so I think we can safely assume that Claudius is not going to bid. The question is how much is AlienJake going to bid? He has quite a lot of cards, and he has the food and the ore to build back up. So he could potentially bid a warrior or a knight with an H2 defense card, of which I haven't seen any. So I think we can safely assume he's going to bid either 2 or 3, either 3 or 4. And the question is, how much am I willing to put into this? I think that the bare minimum is a swordsman and my defense card, because it wouldn't change my military at all. Putting 2 swordsmen, it's going to be a bit more painful, because at this point I am missing the 2 military from the swordsman and the 2 from Napoleon, and that pretty much means giving up on military pressure in the foreseeable future, which is a bit tricky. On the other hand, losing 2 units means that this yellow is now open. My happiness situation is slightly better, at least until next turn, when these yellows go away because of the end of the age. So I'm tempted to bid 5. I'm tempted to bid 5 and get these last 3 H2 cards. Getting Napoleonic Army would be pretty fantastic, and getting any of these aggressions could be pretty good. Are there any event cards I'm gunning for? Not really. Ravages of Time? Ravages of Time could hurt AlienJake quite a bit, although he's going for drama. I don't think I want the Napoleon bonus to drop. I think that it makes sense to stay on this. It keeps threatening Claudius and AlienJake. They don't really. Claudius is going to have trouble getting more military than this unless he. Yeah, I don't see him getting a cannon next turn. And an AlienJake could rebuild, but it's going to require resources and actions that I think he would prefer to spend on scientific method. Yeah, just using 2 ore for a warrior, and he cannot get a scientific method next turn, right? It's going to cost 5. It's going to be at 4. Yeah, so I think I can safely bid just 3, and hopefully that should be enough. I think 3 is worth it. So let's put the bid on 3. And now we wait. Okay, that was easy. So I think that spending 1 swordsman for this territory is totally worth it. Unfortunately, we did not get Napoleonic Army. We did get economic progress, international trade agreement, and defensive army, all of which are interesting, plus the colony and the 2 strength. So I need to choose how to use this this foray. And the thing I'm concerned about right now, I think the one missing piece in the puzzle is food. And I just picked 3 for the purpose of thinking about my turn. One thing I could do is finally get this irrigation going and upgrade it using rich land and just upgrade it. This puts me at 2 food per turn. So by the end of the game, let's see how this corruption is going to work. Yeah, so next turn I'm going here. So I think this is going to give me 3 more populations by the end of the turn, by the end of the game. Am I getting it right? Because these 2 are going away, corruption is 2. So next turn I'm going to get 1, I'm going to be at 1. There's going to be 6 turns after that. So, so 12 more. So that's one way to do it. It requires 3 actions to get there. And I can probably use the foray just for 2 food, not 3 food. So that's one thing I can do. Another option, and requires 3 actions. Another option, we said we can just use 2, is to get this selective breeding and do the same thing here. And again, this puts me at 2 food. It gives me the option of doing this either now or later. And if I'm getting the math right, this should get me. God, these food calculations are so hard. I think this should get me. So it's going to get me these 2. It's going to get me 4 times 6, 24. So these are going to leave me at 16, and then this is going to hit. So it's going to give me 4 more, assuming I upgrade it all the way. Or I can just do this. Although, if I just do this, I might as well stick to the irrigation I have in hand. So it comes up to how many resources I want by the end of the game. Another thing that comes into play is that how many food I want by the end of the game. Another thing that comes into play is that there's strategy here. And if I want to keep pushing on military, I might want to take it just so that nobody else does. And I could also wait for the next selective breeding, although I'm not sure that's the way I want to go, and I need to use this card somehow. So yeah, I could use this for Organized Religion. It's some points, it's nice, but I still have all these actions I need to use. And I really think that getting some kind of food this turn makes sense. And finally, there's these series of yellows that I might want to pick up. So I definitely want to pick up Breakthrough. It's just such a good card that I think it makes sense to get it. And then if I upgrade one irrigation, I will not use Rich Land. And I have 3 actions left for the strategy. But that means no selective breeding, at least not for now. This is a really rough choice. Food math is generally something I'm weak on. Honestly, my gut feeling says goes for the selective breeding. That's what I was thinking of doing initially. And it puts us here, and we can pick up Breakthrough and either reserves or urban growth. So let's say I get urban growth. Next turn, I can get another population and use it for whatever. And this one organized religion solves my my happiness problems for the end of the game, I think. Yeah, with 1, 2, 3, and I get these, maybe one more. So if I do that, 2, 4, 5, then strategy is going to be position 6. It's possible that Jake is going to take it. If Claudius takes it, then he's going to need at least 2 turns to get there. So maybe giving them strategy is not such a huge deal. They don't have that much science. One of these could be scientific breakthrough. I haven't seen it. So it's an option. And it does leave me with the room to upgrade once again next turn, which could be pretty strong. So do I take urban growth or reserves? I'm pretty sure I'm taking urban growth. Age 3 is starting. I'm gonna use this for this opera, or if a movies or computers shows up. So I think that getting the urban growth makes sense. I'm not super happy about giving up on the strategy right now, but I think that's the way to go. My irrigation is gonna fall off. I'm in a good space to get another one of these next turn, if nothing interesting comes up here. It's slightly more expensive on the science, but honestly not by much, just by 2. And I think the actions are gonna be worth it. So yeah, again, food, one of my weakest parts, but hopefully it works out. What else is coming? There's 4 cards left, and they're transcontinental, another selective breeding, James Cook, and scientific method. So nothing really interesting. I might want to go into transcontinental. Next turn I'm going to have 13 ore, and the 4 military could be nice. The tricky part is going to be the actions cost, because finishing it is going to be 4 actions. It's going to make my next wonder cost 1 more, so there's 5 actions. Then picking it up. So it really depends on what else shows up. What shows up from age 3, to be honest. Getting the 2 more resources per turn is going to be nice. Getting the 4 military is going to be nice, but I don't think either one of these is going to be critical. So let's do that. I can keep all these cards. I'm going to draw 3 more. Another war. Interesting. So I lose irrigation. Claudius uses masonry and reach age. And the first age 3 card is engineering. So nothing super interesting right now. I might go for a war on AlienJake. If he doesn't get more defenses up, then I might just declare war on technology over him. And it's possible I could get another war on Claudius. So next turn, I need to trip up my happiness, but can I get 2 more units? I have the urban growth, so religion is going to cost me 4, which puts me at 9. Yeah, I'm missing 1 ore. but I could reserve for it. So next turn I might be able to get another tactic. We'll see.